Okay, so you bought that fancy new compressor or EQ with fingers crossed that they will solve all of your mixing problems. Seems like a good idea to just get what pros use since, hey, industry standard plugin will give industry standard results, right? Now if that will be the case, then some of us will need a separate room for all the Grammys and plaques. Don't get me wrong, it's cool to get new plugins, try out new features since they get better and better every single year, but you can't forget about the most important tools you have in your arsenal. Let's say you already have idea how mixing works. You feel comfortable with dialing tones and separate mixing aspects, yet when it comes down to overall mix, everything falls apart. For the longest time ever, it was also my case. But no matter how cheesy this advice sounds, stop mixing in solo. We already talked about it in our previous videos, so let's just leave it like that and focus on specific tool that will help you a lot to get your mix to sound just like your favorite tracks or simply the music you love. I can't imagine finishing the song or session without using reference tracks. Most people advise you to just have a bunch of references inside your session and then switch back and forth between them. And that's okay, but depends on your DAW, you may stumble across some crazy routing issues, or in a worst case scenario, you may run your reference track through your mixing and mastering process. Makes no sense, right? That's one of the main reasons we built our reference plugin. If you have it as the last plugin in your mastering chain, maybe before your last metering device, it will eliminate the hassle of routing or switching plugins on and off. Next problem, level matching. It's a common sense, but your mix will most likely be either louder or quieter than your reference. Depends how hard you drive your mix bus. I know, it's not that big of a deal to just turn the volume down, but hey, we want to compare apples to apples while not losing time to write the fader or adjusting utility gain. That's where the simple level match button comes into play. Cool thing is that you can match it to the loudest, quietest, or to loudest standard. But even this can be done without using a plugin, so you may ask, what's the hype about? That's where Trinity Display comes into play. Now, since I have another tool to talk about, which is totally free by the way, let me quickly walk you through the basics. There are punch dots that show you the amount of compression applied to each range, stereo field analyzer which help you to decide about stereo spread and mid-side decisions, and finally a level line, which gives you hints about tonal adjustments. You can watch a full reference guide and how to use it in practice in this video. Yeah. Tonal adjustments. As cool as it is to have some hints, it would be much cooler to see nearly flat line inside reference, instead of playing guessing games or going back to mixing sessions and fixing individual elements. That's where a totally new addition to our lineup shines. EQ Academy. It's totally free for our mailing list subscribers. No matter if you use expensive hardware or stock EQs, if you can't hear it, you can't fix it. The idea is very simple. Your goal is to match EQ adjustments to a track called Target EQ. You can switch between them how many times you like, as well as loop the part you feel stands out the most. Each level is generated randomly, so even if you hear the same track, that doesn't mean it has the same issues to fix as before. Just like in any other game, the starting point is very simple. Single note and single adjustment. The blue shaded target range gives you a helpful guide for where the correct EQ settings might be. As you progress further, the more adventurous things start to appear, like changing frequency range, bandwidth of each individual node, and finally, mid-side adjustment. First, you unlock your personal stats, then Challenge Builder and an option to import your own songs. And let me tell you something, the last two are pretty fun and dangerous. For example, here I decided to go straight into Savage mode by increasing the number of notes, unlocking bandwidth and mid-side options, as well as disabling target range, and well, let's say I could do better. Luckily though, you can hit replay, but it's also randomly generated, so good luck. Importing your own songs surprised me the most, since instead of using reference tracks, I decided to go with my own tunes, and well, I should have a good idea where's the room to improve them and gather the most points, but as you can see, it didn't went as planned. Just to summarize. Reference is tailor-made to help you with the exact mix or session you're currently working on. The more you use it, the more you know about your common mistakes to avoid in next project. But once you start using EQ Academy, I guarantee you will forget about repetitive mistakes and become faster and better decision maker. Links to EQ Academy and our other plugins are down in the description, so make sure to check them, sign up for free, and try your knowledge and strength.